I don't need a golden reason just to stay inside the day. Plain permission on the table, not a speech, not a parade. If the light turns green too softly, I can cross without a sign. Some doors open like they mean it, some just leave a little line. Yeah. There's a ticket in my jacket from a place I didn't reach. I kept it like a warning, like the proof was meant to teach. But the ink is getting lighter and the folder's losing shape. Maybe not all unfinished things are asking me to pay. I used to need a reason with a stamp and clean address, something official enough to let me do a little less. Now the bus stop keeps us weather and I stand there without proof. The data's not approve me, but it doesn't make me move. That might be the permission, not kind, not bright, just plain a space where nothing pushes, and I don't turn it into blame. I keep the volume at a level where my thoughts can pass through. Not every sound behind me needs to tell me what to do. There's a button on the crossing that I press and then forget. A small red hand keeps waiting, but I'm not in trouble yet. I have made too many moments, asked for papers at the door, made my own brush show ID just to step across the floor. But I can be allowed here without earning every inch. I can loosen one old verdict without making it a wish. Give me plain permission, nothing brighter than a place to stand. Nothing dressed up like a rescue, nothing reaching for my hand. If the day stays ordinary, if the answer doesn't shine, I can still belong a little to the time that's already mine. Give me plain permission where the hard rule loses shape, where I don't have to become more just to make it through the gate. I can move without a blessing, I can pause without a name. I can keep the smaller freedom that was hiding in the plane. No banner over me, no final proof, just a lane left open between the weight and truth. No crown, no clean arrival, no perfect version made, just the simple fact that I am not erased. Maybe I was waiting for the world to say it clearly. Maybe all that waiting kept the door from feeling near me. Maybe I can stop converting every doubt into a lock. Maybe permission is the minute when the older man forgets to knock. I put the question down beside a vending machine glow. Let the corn stay in my pocket, let the next thing come in slows. There is nothing dramatic in the way the street remains. It does not call me better, it does not count my stains. But the curve is still a curve and the crossing still has room. A small permission is there without needing to bloom. I don't have to be chosen by the loudest part of me. I can take the plain allowance and let that be enough to leave. Give me plain permission, nothing brighter than a place to stand. Yeah. Nothing dressed up like a rescue, nothing reaching for my hand. If the day stays ordinary, if the answer doesn't shine, I can still belong a little to the time that's already mine. Give me plain permission, like a green light turning late, like a small unguarded opening, the pressure of the gate. I can move without a witness, I can breathe without a claim. I can keep the smaller freedom that was hiding in the plane. Give me plain permission not to fix the whole design, just to step around the sentence that was never fully mine. If I only make it slightly, if I only make it near, I can still be alive forward without disappearing here. The ticket stays folded, the crossing turns green. I go without explaining what it means. There's a number after everything, small enough to miss. Not the answer, not the damage, just the part that still exists. I used to hate the leftover, called it proof I didn't clear. Now I keep it on the table like it has a reason here. Yeah, I folded every receipt till the corners lost the names. Tried to make the day come even, tried to balance all the blame, but the total kept returning with a little piece outside, a coin beneath the counter, a word I couldn't hide. There's a cut mark on the paper, there's a date I didn't write. There's a small unpaid feeling sitting under normal light. I don't make it disappear now, I don't chase it through the room. Some things left behind me make a place I can move through. Maybe I don't need the ending to erase what didn't fit. Maybe life can keep a remainder and still make use of it. If the math comes out uneven, if the line refuses clean, I can carry what is left there without making it mean everything. Let there be a remainder, something small I didn't spend, something left inside the margin when the day comes to an end. If the whole thing doesn't balance, if the answer doesn't land, I can live with what is left there like a coin in inside my hand. Let there be a remainder, not a failure, not a stain, just the part that kept the shape after I walked through the strain. I don't need the full amount back, I don't need the page to shine, just a little piece unbroken that can still be counted mine. The drawer won't close, the tape won't hold, the number stays where I was told to make it vanish. I let it stay, some leftovers know the way. I left a sentence in the notes app with the ending cut in half. Read it later like a stranger had been trying not to crash. There's a battery of 14, enough to make one call. I don't waste it proving something to the shadow on the wall. I used to spend the final portion just to say I gave it all. Then I wonder why the morning felt like climbing out of salt. Now I keep a little extra where the pressure cannot reach. Not a victory, not a system, just a lesson without speech. Maybe enough is not the number when nothing else remains. Maybe enough is having something after walking through the rain. Maybe I was not behind because I didn't empty out. Maybe keeping one small fragment is what turned the corner around. So I don't total every feeling, I don't make the ledger pure. I leave a little unnamed portion and let that be the cure. Let there be a remainder, something small I didn't spend, something left inside the margin when the day comes to an end. If the whole thing doesn't balance, if the answer doesn't land, I can live with what is left there like a coin inside my hand. Let there be a remainder like a light under the door. Not enough to change the building, just enough to show there's more. If I can, I'll make the total into something clean and kind. I can keep the part remaining and stop calling it behind. One unread line, one folded fair, one tiny number left in the air. Not all used up, not fully named. A small remainder keeps the frame. There is a mercy after counting when the sum does not obey. A piece too small for pressure finds a pocket anyway. I used to think the leftover was the part I failed to clear. Now it feels like something waiting for a less demanding year. Let there be a remainder, something small I didn't spend, something left inside the margin when the day comes to an end. If the whole thing doesn't balance, if the answer doesn't land, I can live with what is left there like a coin inside my hand. Let there be a remainder, not a flaw I have to hide, just a narrow piece of breathing at the total left aside. I don't need the page corrected, I don't need the numbers clean. I can keep the part remaining as the space between. Be a remainder, let it sit below the line. Let the day come out uneven and still partly be combined. Not complete and not explained, not a perfect way to leave, just enough left over to begin with what I keep. The receipt stays folded, the coin stays warm. I'll leave the total uneven and carry what remains. I fold the edge, not the whole cloth, leave the seam a little wide. Some things only start to hold when they stop choosing sides. I don't need a perfect outline, I don't need the fabric new. If the shape can stay around me, I can let it carry through. Yeah. There's a jacket on the hanger with the shoulder sitting wrong. I kept wearing it like evidence that I didn't quite belong. Every sleeve became a reason, every button missed its mark. I made a courtroom out of mirrors, made the fitting room go dark. But the tail of chalk is fading on the line I drew too tight. Maybe I can leave some looseness and still step into the light. I don't have to cut myself down just to match the narrow frame. I can change the shape around me without losing my own. If the day won't fit my body, I can move the seam instead. I can take the harder pattern and make room around the thread. Not a flawless kind of answer, not a shining second skin, just a way to keep on wearing what I'm still becoming now. We can make this fit, not by forcing every corner into place, not by hiding all the edges, not by wearing someone's face. If the shape is almost useful, if the line is almost kind, we can loosen what is pulling and leave the rest aligned. Yeah, we can make this fit like a hem left slightly open, like a borrowed room adjusted till it lets the body stay. If the whole thing feels too narrow, if the old cut keeps its grip, we can shift one quiet seam and find another way to live. There's a box beneath the table with the label half peeled off. I kept pushing every object where the plan said it belonged, but the shelf was never measured for the weight I tried to store. Some things only stop collapsing when they're asked to carry less. I take the heavy book out, move the lamp a little right. Nothing turns into a vision, but the room accepts the night. I stop calling every mismatch a defect in my design. Some spaces need adjustment, not a reason to resign.
I know
the ache of shrinking just to pass through someone's door. How a softer part goes missing when the heart shape asked for more. So I leave a little width there where the breath can still return. Not every tender part of me was made to be unlearned. I can keep the line imperfect, I can let the fold remain. There is beauty in the fitting that does not become a chain. If I make the room around me from the cloth already here, then the life that almost held me can become a place to steer.
Maybe I was not too much, maybe the frame was drawn too thin. Maybe all this trying harder never helped the light get in. Maybe comfort is not failure, maybe space is not escape. Maybe what I call surrender was the first usable shape. So I
pin the corner lightly, leave the final cut delayed.
If the fit is almost honest,
I can move inside the day. We can make this fit, not by forcing every corner into place, not by hiding all the edges, not by wearing someone's face. If the shape is almost useful, if the line is almost kind, we can loosen what is pulling and leave the rest aligned.
Yeah, we can make this fit like the room learns where we stand, like the cloth gives up its verdict when it meets an open hand. If the old form keeps insisting we become a smaller truth, we can change the way it holds us and still keep what made it groove.
One pin stays loose, one fold stays plain,
one mark moves over
from the place of blame.
Not remade, not replaced,
just more room around the shape. We can make this fit. We can make this fit, not by forcing every corner into place, not by hiding all the edges, not by wearing someone's face. If the shape is almost useful, if the line is almost kind, we can loosen what is pulling and leave the rest aligned.
Yeah, we can make this fit, not a perfect kind of healing, just a softer way of staying with the life we didn't pick. If the seamster shows beside us, if the fabric keeps its history, we can wear the altered version and let there be enough of it.
We can make this fit with the hem a little uneven,
with the room still rearranging,
as we learn how much to give.
Not complete and not corrected, not a clean invented skin,
just enough space and a pattern to keep living from within. The chalk line fades, the jacket keeps its scar,
we leave one seam open,
and it fits from where we are.
Make it small enough to start, small enough to stay. I don't need the whole road open, just the part that gives today. There's a line across the paper where I lower what it costs. I keep the task in reach now before it turns to loss. I left the big plan on the counter with the corners curling up. Too much shape can turn against me when the room is asking much, so I take the lighter version, the one with fewer doors. No clean, new self-required, no proof across the floor. A cup near the sink, a charger by the chair. I move one thing closer and call that getting there. I used to need the perfect method, all the pieces named and straight. Now I let the day be smaller before it learns to break. If the full amount is too much, I can trim the edge and go. There is nothing less about me when I choose a shape. I know I can keep the promise lower where my hands can make it real. Some things become possible when they stop trying to appeal. Make it feasible, something I can hold without the whole frame falling through, something close enough to reach without becoming someone new. If the day keeps asking bigger than the body I can bring, I can answer with a smaller door and still step into something. Make it feasible, leave the shining version somewhere out of view. Let the plain one keep its handle, let the first move be enough to do. I don't need to rise completely just to prove I have begun. I can make the weight more human and still move it one by one. The pen rolls sideways, the page stays bent. I cross a half the sentence and keep what still makes sense. No grand repair, no perfect plan, just less distance between the day and my hand. There's a shelf I won't assemble with every screw and line. I only clear the corner where the first small piece can find a reason to stay standing, a way to hold this name. I stop making every effort and I threw a bigger frame. The window needs no witness, the floor accepts the chair. A life can be adjusted without becoming fair. I saved the larger answer for a better kind of hour. Today I keep the lever short and still call that power. Maybe I was losing motion to the version meant to shine. Maybe I kept overbuilding every ordinary line. Maybe useful is the doorway I kept walking past too fast. Maybe simple is the structure that can actually last. So I lower the requirement, take the title off the wall. If the step can take my weight, it does not have to take it all. Make it feasible, something I can hold without the whole frame falling through. Something close enough to reach without becoming someone new. If the day keeps asking bigger than the body I can bring, I can answer with a smaller door, still step into something. Make it feasible, like a bridge made just for now and just enough to cross. Like a task I lost its sharpness when I stopped naming the cost. I don't need a cleaner future to approve the way I move. I can choose the workable version and let that be the groove. One corner cleared, one handle found. The bigger room waits without pulling me down. One version fits, one version stays. I take the smaller opening and let it make a way. There is a kind of kindness in a plan that knows its size. It doesn't ask for drama, it doesn't need disguise. I spent too many mornings chasing forms I couldn't keep. Now I leave a roll forward so the house can let me sleep. The possible part is plain, but it has somewhere to stand. I put my weight there slowly and ended understand. Make it feasible, something I can hold without the whole frame falling through. Something close enough to reach without becoming someone new. If the day keeps asking bigger than the body I can bring, I can answer with a smaller door and still step into something. Make it feasible, leave a perfect version folded out of sight. Let the reachable one meet me with its ordinary light. I don't need to solve the distance, I don't need the cleanest view. I can make the next part livable and let that carry through. The big clan stays on the counter, the smaller one fits my hand. I open only that door, and it stands.
I keep a breath budget for the parts I used to overspend, for the heavy little errands that were waiting at the end. If the day asks for my whole chest just to make it through the door, I can pay in smaller portions and still have something more. I keep a breath budget, not a rule to make me less, just a way to leave some air inside the corners of my chest. If I cannot give the full amount, if I only make it near, I can still arrive in pieces and remain enough to hear. I wrote the morning on an envelope, then crossed out half the plan. Not because I lost the reason, just to make it fit my hand. The elevator kept its numbers climbing slow behind the glass. I watched the red light change floors without asking it to last. I used to spend myself too early, like the first hour was a test. Every small request around me found a way into my chest. Now I keep a little portion where the pressure cannot reach. Not a secret, not a shelter, just a breath I do not breathe. The turnstile takes one tap, the hallway gives one lane. I don't owe the whole room every part of my name. A calendar square waits with no mark inside. I leave it almost open and let that count as mine. There's a folded shopping list with 3 items left undone. I used to make that kind of thing feel heavier than the sun, but the bag does not accuse me, the latch does not complain. The world keeps being ordinary when I stop feeding it my strain. I take one breath for answering, one breath for leaving space, one breath for not explaining why I'm slower in this place. The rest stays in the pocket, not lost and not denied. Some days need a budget just to keep the self inside. Maybe I can measure effort without turning it to debt. Maybe what I leave unused is the part that saves me yet. If the hour wants a full report, if the door wants me complete, I can give a smaller answer and still land on my feet. I keep a breath budget for the parts I used to overspend, for the heavy little errands that were waiting at the end. If the day asks for my whole chest just to make it through the door, I can pay in smaller portions emotions and still have something more. I keep a breath budget where the hard demand gets thin, where I don't have to disappear to prove I'm letting people in. If the full amount is missing, if the line comes out unclear, I can still be partly ready and still be mostly here. One breath stays back, one word stays plain, one task waits outside the heavier frame. Not empty, not gone, just less of me. Spent all. I used to call it weakness when I needed less to hold. Now I call it keeping temperature inside a room gone cold. I don't have to match the motion of the fastest moving street. I can make the pace more human and still not accept defeat. There's a softer kind of progress in the amount I do not give, a small and spit remainder that reminds me how to live. The budget is not fear, it is not a smaller sky. It is the note inside the margin saying leave some air nearby. It is the hand that stops the pouring before the glass turns blame. It is the part that stays unoffered and still deserves a name. I keep a breath budget for the parts I used to overspend, for the heavy little errands that were waiting at the end. If the day asks for my whole chest just to make it through the door, I can pay in smaller portions and still have something more. I keep a breath budget, not a wall and not a chain, just a little space between me and a habit of strain. If I only move in fragments, if I only make it near, I can still arrive in pieces and remain enough to hear. I keep a breath budget, let the unused parts stay mine, let the hour take a little without crossing every line. Not a perfect way of healing, not a shining way to start, just enough left in the body to keep carrying the heart. The envelope stays folded, the list keeps one blank line. I leave a breath unspent and take it as a sign. I move the heavy thing from both arms to one side. Not lighter, not forgiven, just easier to hide. Inside a small emotion, inside a slower pace. I don't need it gone today, I need a carryable shape. Yeah, yeah. There's a bag beside the sofa with the strap turned inside out. I kept stepping over it like it knew what I was about. A book I never opened, a receipt that lost the date. Little proof around the room that I was running kinda late. But the weight is not the whole room, the room is not the case. I can move one thing closer and give the rest some space. I used to make the burden, prove it had to leave. Now I shift it to my shoulder and allow myself to breathe. Maybe I don't need a rescue, maybe I don't need it clean. Maybe I can change the handle on the thing I thought I mean. If the whole day stays unfinished, if the line won't rearrange, I can make the weight more human without calling that a change. Make it carryable, not easy, not a story where I win, just a form that lets me move without collapsing from within. If the pressure keeps its outline, if the old thing keeps its place, I can hold it at an angle and still keep my pace. Yeah, make it carryable, not golden, not erased, just a little less impossible when I meet it face to face. I don't need the load to vanish, I don't need the sky to clear. I need a way to keep on walking with the weight still here. One strap short and one knot made plain, one hand left open outside the strain. The bag still leans, the floor still knows, but less of me breaks where the pressure goes. I put the charger in the drawer with the cable wrapped too fast. Not everything that tangles has to turn into a past. There's a code I keep repairing with the wrong thread every time. Still it holds through a cold walk and makes the weather mine. I stop asking every object to become a perfect sign. Some things only need a handle and a place to cross the line. The answer stays uneven, but the grip becomes a sharp. A burden with a corner can be carried like a part. Maybe I was waiting for the load to turn to air. Maybe all I needed was a better way to bear the same old ordinary unresolved amount of weight. Not to make it beautiful, just to make it less afraid. So I fold the loose edge under, I move the hard part near. I take the thing I couldn't lift and make it partly clear. Make it carryable, not easy, not a story where I win, just a form that lets me move without collapsing from within. If the pressure keeps its outline, if the old thing keeps its place, I can hold it at an angle and still keep my pace. Make it carryable, like a bag of one strap fixed, like a hard part of the morning, finding somewhere it can sit. If I can't, I'll make it lighter. If it still belongs to me, I can change the way I hold it till it lets me leave. Not gone, not clean, not turned into some brighter thing, just held with less demand just moved into the hand. There is a kindness in not needing weight to disappear, and giving it a smaller name and keeping one side clear. Yeah, the room does not become new, the bag does not become light, but something in the carrying stops turning into fight. Make it carryable, not easy, not a story where I win, just a form that lets me move without collapsing from within. If the pressure keeps us outlined, if the old thing keeps its place, I can hold it at an angle and still keep my pace. Make it carryable, not perfect, not a clean release, just a weight across the hallway with a little more of me. I don't need the load to vanish, I don't need the sky to clear, I need a way to keep on walking with the weight still here. Make it carryable, let the heart part keep its name, let the shoulder learn the measure without turning it to blame. Not complete and not correct and not a shining kind of star, just a burning image so it stops becoming all my heart. The bag stays by the sofa, the strap turns back in place. I lift it from one side and it becomes carryable. And the awning only covers half the mark beneath my shoes. I keep my shoulder under it and let the weather choose. Not safe, not fully covered, not cleared from every side, just one small strip above me where the sharper parts divide. There's tape across the umbrella where the metal ribs gave in. It opens with a crooked shape, but it still lets less come in. I used to throw away the almost, call it useless, call it late. Anything that couldn't hold the whole thing felt like one more failed escape. But a jacket over one arm can still keep one arm warm. A paper bag around the handle can still outlast the storm. I'm done asking every cover to become a perfect roof. Some protection is uneven and still tells a kind of truth. I can stand where it only partly keeps the hard thing from my face. I can take the smaller safety without calling it a waste. If the full sky stays above me, if the ground keeps asking more, I can use this partial shelter and not run back from the door. Give me partial shelter, just enough to keep the sharpest part away. Not a place that makes me flawless, not a wall around the day. If the cover only reaches one small corner of my skin, I can start from that protection and let the rest come in. Give me partial shelter where the open side remains, where the weather still can find me, but it doesn't get my name. I don't need the whole thing hidden, I don't need the perfect frame, just a little less exposure while I learn to stay the same. There's a strip of yellow plastic hanging near the loading bay. It keeps the boxes mostly dry in an almost useful way. I think I understand it, how it fails and still protects, how the edge keeps getting lifted but the center still connects. I've been trying to be covered from every possible mistake, turning every open angle into proof that I might break. Now I let the sides stay open, let the draft pass through my coat. Not every exposed part has to turn into a note. One grip bent back, one corner loose, one place still working with nothing to prove. The cover is uneven, the ground is not kind, still less of the weather gets under my mind. Maybe safety is not total, maybe total acts too much. Maybe I can keep one shoulder out of reach and call that enough. Maybe all the open edges earn a verdict I should fear. Maybe what protects me partly still protects the fact I'm here. So I step beneath the awning, though it doesn't cover all. Let the rest of me stay honest where the colder pieces fall. Give me partial shelter, just enough to keep the sharpest part away. Not a place that makes me flawless, not a wall around the day. If the cover only reaches one small corner of my skin, I can start from that protection and let the rest come in. Give me partial shelter, like a hand above the flame. Not enough to stop the burning, just enough to change its aim. If I cannot find the full roof, if the white space won't be kind, I can keep this narrow covering and still move underneath the line. If there's no perfect hiding in
in the version I can use. There is only folded plastic, a bent frame, and better shoes. But the storm does not own me just because it gets inside. The open edge can stay there without becoming my whole life. I take what little holds, I leave what does not bend. Somewhere under half a shelter, I begin again. Give me partial shelter, just enough to keep the sharpest part away. Not a place that makes me flawless, not a wall around the day. The cover only reaches one small corner of my skin. I can start from that protection and let the rest come in. Give me partial shelter, let the missing roof remain. Let the open side remind me I can carry some of the rain. I don't need the whole thing hidden, I don't need the perfect frame. Just a little less exposure while I keep my shape the same. Give me partial shelter, not a rescue, not a sign. Just a strip away the plastic that gives back a little time. Not completed, not corrected, not protected all the way, but enough of me stays covered to continue through the days. The on lifts once, the umbrella holds strong. I step where it covers half, and half is enough for now. Yeah. I kept my hand around the hour till the hour lost its shape. Every small unfinished corner started looking like a gate. There was a note beneath the magnet, there was dust along the glass. I was holding every almost like it needed me to last. Now I let one finger loose and not the whole thing, not today. Just enough to let the pressure find another place to stay. Yeah, I had the receipt in my pocket, folded down to almost thread. Kept rereading every number like the total knew my head. There's a handle on the window that I never turn enough. Not because the room is locked, more like I made it feel rough. I kept gripping small decisions, kept the day inside my fist. Made a list of harmless problems that make problems from the list. But the pen rolls off the table and I leave it where it lands. Some things start to move again when I stop closing my hands. I don't need to drop the whole weight, I can loosen what I can. There is still a way to hold on without turning into stone. If the shape is not forgiven, if the line won't make it plain, I can unclinch by a little and let room return again. We can unclinch by a little, let the hard rule lose its grip. Let the day stop taking everything from underneath the skin. If the answer stays unfinished, if the door stays almost shut, we can leave one part unguarded and still keep enough. We can unclinch by a little, not a bright and perfect turn, just a hand that learns the difference between holding and being burned. If the weight keeps asking louder than the body wants to give, we can loosen once my corner and remember how to live. There's a drawer that sticks in winter, I don't force it like before. I pull once then leave the handle with this complaint inside the wood. A message waits unanswered, but it doesn't own the room. I keep walking past the charger and the half-lit afternoon. I was making every pause into a sentence with my name. Every gap became a verdict, every delay became a claim. Now I let the loose thread hang there, I let the button miss the line. Not everything that stays uneven has to become mine.
I know the ache of keeping what was never meant to fit. The key pressed into the palm until the skin remembers it. But there is mercy in the opening that arises without a sound. A hand can still be faithful when it sets something down.
I will not call it losing when the grip becomes less tight. Some parts of me come back again when I stop proving I was right. Let the hell thing
Keep its outline, let it sit outside my name. I can care without enclosing, I can bend without the claim.
Maybe I was using tension as a map for where to go. Maybe I kept every answer too close to let it grow. Maybe the smallest release is the first useful repair, not the part where I become new, just the part where I find air. So I leave the knot half open,
Leave the pressure underlined.
if I cannot change the whole thing,
I can change the whole this time. We can unclinch by a little. Let the hard rule lose its grip. Let the day stop taking everything from underneath the skin. If the answer stays unfinished, if the door stays almost shut, we can leave one part unguarded and still keep it nice.
Unclinch by a little, like a fish become a weather, like a locked up kind, try learning not to last forever. If the road won't open fully, if the old way keeps it placed, we can lose someone surrounds it and still move through the space.
One finger from the progression, one breath outside the plan, one thread left unpulled in the middle of the hand. Not empty, not erased,
Not free from every line,
just less of the way, pretending to be mine. I let the key leave a mark, then I let the mark be small. The hand that held too tightly is still a hand after all. We can unclench by a little. Let the hard rule lose its grip. Let the day stop taking everything from underneath the skin. If the answer stays unfinished, if the door stays almost shut, we can leave one part unguarded and still keep it nice.
we can unclench by a little. Not a rescue, not a sign,
Just a softer way of staying with the things we cannot find.
if the health thing does not vanish, if it keeps its old trash.
We can loosen how we carry it and still become less proud.
Unclench by a little, let the fingers learn the
Let the
room.
close part open slowly without calling it a wound.
Not completed, not corrected, not a story made to
Just the
shine.
grip becomes smaller than the life it tried to bind.
The key stays on the table,
The mark stays in the hand,
we leave one finger open.
and let that be the stand.